Happy Monday. Happy Thanksgiving week. So, a lot to be grateful for. I hope all of you feel the same. So we will not do a press conference Thursday. We'll do it Wednesday so everybody can enjoy their time with their family. And we'll practice Thursday, and then we'll let our players head out after practice. We'll do a little family Thanksgiving with our team on Thursday morning. So all of our team and their parents and their families will have a nice Thursday morning breakfast prior to the start of practice. So looking back on the game, I thought it was one of our more complete games that we've played in the last 3 years. I think we've said that a few now weeks in a row, but certainly in that game, the way that situation went, from the get-go, I think holding that team to 3.2 yards per carry, us being able to run the ball at close to 5 yards per clip, getting a special teams touchdown, having 7 opportunities to score, missed on 2 field goals, but maybe it was 8 opportunities. 7 because of the punt. So, but all in all, I thought the team played extremely well, and was proud of our guys, proud of how they came out of the gates, ready to go. And we're going to need that same type of effort this Saturday for the Territorial Cup.
Going 7 for 11 on third down against the best third down defense in the country, what stands out to you about how your team played against them?
Yeah, very efficient, obviously, on third down. We executed the plan that we wanted to put into place. We felt that we had some good answers to what they do on third down. And I also felt that our players did a great job of executing some plays outside of the framework of the play. But all in all, it was one of those games that I think we were 70% on third down until the last 3rd and 4, where we weren't going to force anything in that situation. You know, if it was there, I told Jade you could throw it. If it's not there, just go down and use the clock. And then other than that, I don't think there was a third down. We kicked the field goal, I think, on third down. We tried to set up at the end of the half. But I was really proud of our guys on third down for sure.
We've heard throughout the year players talk about T-Mac and how he's talented at everything. Has there been one thing where you've seen him struggle?
No. The guy's unbelievable. I mean, he's unbelievable. I need to take him out on the tennis court, see if he's got anything there. Right now, he's 100 for 100 in everything else we've done. I always tell the story about in the spring, we did Olympics after spring game was over. That Monday, we did a little bit of a fun team bonding session, and we did a home run derby. And it was with a wiffle ball bat. He went out there, swung the bat 6 times, and had 6 home runs. And the bat was like one of those small little bats, and 6 for 6 for 6 home runs. So there's not much he can't do.
This will be the first time that you're going into this week with it not being like a sense of finality on the season and all that, where there's something beyond it. Does that in any way change the approach and maybe not having to worry so much about the guys getting amped up because this is the end?
Yeah, I think it has to change the approach. Like, we can't be nearly as undisciplined as we were at the end of last year, or at the end of that game, I should say. Both teams, I don't think either team were playing for a bowl game. Guys were getting kicked out of the game. Guys were suspended for the first half of the next game. Guys were for the first game. Now we got another game to play, if not 2. We can't be making any undisciplined moves that could prevent us from being able to be a full deck for the bowl season. Also, I think that rivalry games are fantastic and they're great and they're motivational, but you still need to be disciplined, and you still can't be playing in a manner that you're not understanding the game of football first and foremost. So, yeah, I think it's big for us to be able to have something afterwards. I think it'll force us to get back on the bus after the game, not try to stay in Scottsdale, and get back to work on Sunday. And then we'll spend a week of about 3 days of practice next week probably, and then find out what bowl we're headed to.
2 questions. One, you talked about the confidence that this team has after 5 straight wins. What's the line between confidence and being over cocky going into a rivalry like this?
Oh, there's no overconfidence with this team. This team, I've shared with them, like, there's not a lot of people out there that talk about our program, not a lot of people out there that talk about our team. Our guys are just, scrappy and hard-nosed and got passed over by a lot of programs to come here, and we like it that way. So we're going to continue to live in that world, remind ourselves of that, and do everything we can to get to this next win. But if we can get there, on Saturday to get to 9, that's great. But for us, it's just a matter of always remembering where we came from.
The ASU showed his newcomers a video about the rivalry, so they would really understand what it is. Do the transfers and the players that are newer really understand what this rivalry is about? What are you doing to kind of light that fire, I guess?
Yeah, I just showed him a billboard.
I don't know if we've ever asked you a question about Anthony Ward, who obviously had a huge play, maybe the biggest play in the game. What can you tell us about him?
Well, we put him on scholarship this fall. So what was pretty cool is we put Nas and Anthony both on scholarship, and those are the two guys that, if you could, remember the video, the play, Nas took the double team, which allowed Anthony to split them, so to speak, and get up to right there in front of the punter and block it. So it was certainly one of those that it was a cool deal. It was kind of poetic. It was nice. And our guys loved it. Our guys when we watched it yesterday, it's just a great reminder. You work hard, you be a great leader, you do things right on and off the field. There's going to be times you can be rewarded. And we were able to reward Anthony with a scholarship before the season. Then the football guys were able to reward him with a punt block for a touchdown week 11. So really happy for him. Really, he does a really good job of keeping the team together. I think it was super cool. I talked to our guys. They did a study session Saturday night after the game as a full team. And when they did that, they were all together, from walk-ons to scholarship players, and they all hung out together. I think they said they were just studying. I don't know. I wasn't there. But from what I understand, they never the way our team works together and loves one another. I think you don't know the difference between a scholarship player and a walk-on. You don't know the difference between a guy that earned a scholarship in September and a guy that earned a scholarship 3 years ago when they walked in the door. And I think Anthony's a prime example of that.
Definitely have asked you about this before. When you're doing well, we pick some nits with certain things. Noah's deep passing, he was 0 for 4 on air yards of 20 plus. He's 8 for 27 for the season. Most of the misses have been the ones to outside the numbers. What do you think is going on there, and is it just a matter of throwing 1,000 passes like that in the offseason?
Yeah, I talked to Jimmy about that today, actually. That's something we have to get better at, is hitting on those. I look back, and I think we had, at this point in time, I think we're like 30, we had 132 explosive plays. Last year at this time, we have 107. This year, about 25 different. And probably comes to 1 and 2 passes a game that, we would like to try to hit on outside the numbers. There is some of it that goes into, have you thrown those balls to those receivers all spring? Have you thrown those balls to the receivers all camp? Maybe, maybe not. That could have a little to do with it. Could be when I call it. Maybe we haven't hit it at the right time. We haven't gotten the perfect look. Maybe we've left a couple. It feels like we've left a few outside, which doesn't give you any chance at all. So we're working through it. Some of it's fundamental, some of it's coverage, some of it's just connecting and throwing with the right rhythm and timing.
Early in the season, you guys had slow starts for a number of games, and then like at the USC game, I guess it was, that all changed all the way to what you guys did this last Saturday. Is there something you can point to that you fixed, an approach you changed, different play calling at the beginning of the game? What can you point to that caused that?
No, I think you guys were more focused in on the slow starts than I was, really. I know that there was a couple games that we only had 2 possessions in the quarter, and then we scored the first possession of the second quarter. I know we scored against NAU. I know we all talk about the Mississippi State game, that we wound up going down 14-0 there. And then UTEP, I think we had a chance to score in the second. I think it was the second drive, and then we fumbled the ball. So I don't know. I just think it kind of happened that way. I think it was kind of meant to just, as the year went on, I think we were just going to get to a spot where we don't punt a lot. We try not to punt a lot. And I think we just early on, maybe we didn't hit on a couple things, but I never really saw it as big of a problem as kind of got addressed. But I don't think it's a big deal.
Two questions. First off, when you were hired, how long did it take for someone to tell you the significance of this rivalry, at least locally?
I mean, it was a huge part of really even early on when I met with I think that first day I did a Zoom call with former athletes that Coach Sanders headed up before he was on the staff. Dave got me in touch with, I think it was with Brandon Sanders, and had about 75 football alumni on. And I was, my job was to introduce myself to them. And I think their job was to kind of inform me a little bit about the history of Arizona football. And clearly, the game itself of the Territorial Cup is one of the most important parts of Arizona football. So probably that day one, it was brought to my attention. And then Teddy came to breakfast, as you guys all know that story, the next day. And I talked to him a little bit about the importance of the game. And I recognize the importance of the game because I know that I was hired after it.
And then there's an important game on Friday night, Oregon State. Do you openly discuss that with the team? Do you worry maybe if it doesn't go your way about the emotions and all that?
Yeah, yes and yes, but I don't worry about. I guess I should say yes. Our guys understand the significance of that game. I told our team yesterday we're Pac-12 South champions. They just decided to change the rules of the Pac-12 championship game a year ago. But if you look at it, we clinched it. We clinched the Pac-12 South. So our guys understand that that's a nice little feather in their cap. And to finish going into week 11, to finish ahead of the other programs, regardless of the outcome of the final week. The second part of it is there's no concern at all in my mind about the emotions of our team for this game. We are playing our bitter rival, and it is a duel in the desert. It is two teams in the state of Arizona going at it, and I have no concern that no matter what happens on Friday night between the two Oregon schools, that our play will be any different at 1:30 p.m. on Saturday.
Last season, Mike Wiley had a big game, won the MVP of that game. Jordan Morgan wasn't able to participate because of the injury. What do you think this game means to him? Because although he was on the team last year, he didn't get to participate in that game.
Yeah, brought to their attention that there was, I think, 13 players total that were Arizona Wildcats when the game occurred here in 2020. Of the starters, you're talking about Jordan Morgan, Mike Wiley, Traden Stukes, and I guess Kyle Ostendorp. I think were the guys that are right now off the top of my head that may not have played in the game in 2020 but are now starting in the game here in 2023. It means a ton to them. It's a huge part of their legacy. It's a huge part of what they want to get accomplished here before they leave. They do not want to leave here 1-3 or 1-4, whatever it might have been. They want to make sure they leave here 2-2 and do everything they possibly can to get that done.
Just the game being on ESPN, kickoff time, what does that mean for the program to have an ESPN game to close things out?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. 3:30 Eastern time, 1:30 Mountain time, 12:30 Pacific on ESPN. I know Louis Riddick's doing the game. It gives great opportunity and exposure to our players and to our program that I believe that they've earned through the course of this season. And to be that at that time on that station should give our guys extra motivation to play at their highest level and to do everything they can to be recognized for a job well done so far. Thank you.